What is up? Is your boy Johnny Shrevive, BB Promos to tell like it is, guys. Welcome back to an episode of Coaching Up. This time, guys, we got Chris Bumstead. Is one of his latest workouts, full shoulder workout. I find that these are great videos to start doing, actually to continue to do, seeing it's the beginning of the new year. So I think everything I do this month is gonna be really good for everybody in terms of just like, you know, giving you guys some tips and cues and making sure you guys are optimizing your training. So when it comes to these guys, again, when it comes to pro athletes, you know, Olympian bodybuilders, pro football, base, whatever it is, you got to understand that these guys have got their way with, through their means of their great, genetics, their superior genetics, and their hard work and dedication to their craft. So what they're doing, regardless of if it's, proper or not, or a little unorthodox, whatever it is, they got there because they can do those things. That is who they are. Those are genetics and dedication to the craft. But you guys out there, you can't. Some of you guys can't. A lot of you guys can't. So you guys can do the exact same thing he's doing and will not get the same results, regardless if you are on or you're not. So again, let's just watch this and see what we can do to optimize our shoulder training.
Have some time to let it heal, but it's so worrisome that it's been fucked up for like 3 years now. So with that being said, we're warming up some rear delts. I find when I set my shoulders back at the beginning of the workout, it kind of helps the pain a little bit.
Good. Number one, guys, we're talking about being injured. If you're injured, number one, don't be a hero. Just step away from the gym. Go to your physiotherapist or whoever it is to get yourself, into the physiotherapist and get yourself, looked over, find out what's wrong with it, and then attack it at that point. Whether it's, work with a physiotherapist for a bit until you're healed, then you're getting, whatever homework to do from your physiotherapist to do in order to strengthen the area of the joint. But number one, to prevent these things, I'm going to say this 1,000 times, don't make the same mistake I did, and a lot of us do, is forget about mobility. Make sure you're doing that before you train and after you train. Make sure you have that mobility, guys. A healthy joint, not that kind of joint. Relax, y'all. I know what a healthy joint is, but anyway, a healthy joint is one that can run through its full range of motion, right? So, mobility, work on it. Let's go. Okay, so what he's doing. So a lot of you guys will be like, "Hey man, Johnny, look what's he doing? What's he doing? He's doing something wrong there." From what I saw you do, you actually have the arm extended in this and that and the other. So guys, what he's doing is a really good exercise to do when it comes to your rear delts. He's basically giving himself a lot more of a leverage in terms of being able to just target that muscle again. Hey guys, a lot of you guys are watching this video, guys, but you're not subscribed to the channel, guys. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and make sure you hit that like button if you like it by now, and also hit the notification button so the next time I put a video, we'll be the first ones to get it. Now, back to our scheduled program. So this isn't actually a bad way of doing it at all, but guys, check out this video over here. I'm gonna show you guys how you can optimize this and how to do this properly. Again, what he's actually doing. I'm just gonna explain exactly what he's doing and show you guys how to optimize this exercise right now. Okay, so Chris is doing a little different type of rear delt fly or cable fly with this. There's nothing wrong with how he's doing it. I know I've said for most of you guys, staying apart like this and pulling out here is optimal. It is, the way he's doing it is optimal too. You just use a lot more of a load when you have your elbow at that 90-degree point here, right? We're basically pulling from here and we're pulling that arm out. We're doing exactly what the rear delt does. We're just not extending that load from here, right? So if we put that load out here, it's that much harder. So you can do the same movement as long as we pull out to here and not try and use our tricep to extend. That's the problem when it comes to doing it this way, is most of the time people put on too much weight and they try to use their tricep to pull the weight out, and I'm doing that kind of stuff. For this part, we want to keep ourselves that 90-degree here, locked right in shoulder depression, so we can still pull that arm away using the rear delt from here. So we're here engaged and just pulling, right? Making sure the elbow and fist in the same plane. We don't want it down like this or up like this either, right? So from here, 90 degrees down, and just pulling from the elbow out. So pulling from the elbow. Now, you can do the same thing again to make it that much harder. You're gonna have to lighten the load, and now we're gonna extend to here now. Same idea. Now we're gonna pull still from our elbow, but connecting our elbow and the back of our fist, keeping that in a straight plane this way. And from here, letting our shoulder just open up like a door. And pressing open. Remember, you want shoulder depression still, so not pulling it up. Pulling back and down. Engage. All right, guys, hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, this is chit-chatting about this again. There's nothing wrong with how he's doing it. Again, when we're talking about leverage, we have to make sure we're always setting the shoulders, right? From the ground up, from floor to core. Always say that in your head. From floor to core, from floor to core, from floor to core. Make sure we are stable from the floor. Make sure we're, engaged throughout into our core. And then, obviously through our lifts and breathing. That's very important too. Anyway, let's move on to the next exercise. I love that. It's awesome. Yes, I love that. I love that. So this is one of those machines. We're gonna watch Chris do some sets here. Now, again, when it comes to like warming up, and I'm gonna preach this to everybody else when you're out there. When you're warming up, remember you're practicing the reps you're going to actually be doing, right? So what Chris is doing, he's doing what he's doing because he's used to what he's doing. But when it comes to you guys, some of you guys who are beginners or just even intermediate or just want to clean up your training, you want to go over your warm up or your feeler sets as a rehearsal to what you're actually going to do in terms of how fast you're going to go, your breathing, how you're going to engage yourself, all of that. I go through my warm-ups as if I was actually lifting the weight in terms of just going through the actual movement, motions, tempo, everything like that. Now, we're going to watch him go. He's going pretty fast, whatever. I like how he bumped his nose because reason like, why you care he bumped his nose? I care because he bumped his nose because it means just this. He knows that he's going to have to pull that bench close enough when it comes to this machine that it will come close to your nose in order for you to get your arms and elbows underneath stacking the joints, like I said. So we're gonna watch a couple of these. We're gonna watch a couple sets and watch him as he goes. Look at him, still stretching, keeping himself warm.
I've had a lot of people, especially in our Facebook group, like, why do you always use Smith machine for shoulders? And like I said, I have a fucked up shoulder. And I just find that, like, I'm either doing dumbbell, but with the barbell press, for me, the stress puts on my lower back, or the control, it takes away from the stress I actually want to put on my delt.
Great, awesome. This is what I like about watching videos like this and breaking them down. You can kind of see where he is in his head, and it kind of gets you guys away from being like, man, he's using that Smith. I remember back in the day, it would be like, Smith machine, man, you a pussy, man. You use the Smith machine. Who used that shit, man? Free weights, free weight all the way. And it's like, yo, now it's like, look, man, exercise selection is massive. It's huge. You do not have to do a certain exercise because someone says to do it. You do the exercise that you have the best and most optimal experience with, in a sense, where you can actually be engaged. You can feel the movement better. Some movements I can't feel as good as other movements, and for the same muscle group. So I'm gonna do the movement that makes the most sense for me. That's gonna give me the best experience in that exercise, right? So when it comes to like triceps, for me, I don't like doing skull crushers, but I can definitely do another tricep exercise that I hit the same part of my tricep, right? And I just take that instead. When it comes to bench, I love Smith machine as well, and I wouldn't mind sticking to the Smith machine. For you guys who are just like beginning, that's a good machine to stick to, because again, it's going to take away from you having to really worry about everything else in terms of stabilization. Now, you want to be stable within the bench when you're moving, but again, when it comes to free weights, there's a lot more components you have to really worry about. When here, you can just really worry about squeezing the chest. Okay, underneath. Now again, how he's setting up, elbows are underneath. Boom. See where he's putting those elbows at? Those elbows are right underneath. Now, here's the thing I'm gonna get on Chris about, right? Chris, you tell me that you're hurting, the shoulders are hurting, all that good shit, right? Oh, my shoulders hurt. And here you are stacking the weight. Now I'm telling you, you guys like, oh man, where's Chris Bumstead, man? He probably does like 6 plates. Shut up. Look, if your shoulders are hurting, here's my thing. On the way back from injuring your shoulders, whatever it is, you want to lower the weight so you can achieve a full range of motion, so you can heal running through a full range of motion. Because if you start to recover training in a half range, you're not going to get the full benefit out of that shoulder really healing through its full range of motion. So that's all I'm saying. He needs to lighten the load here. And that's my opinion. I don't think he needs to do this in the off season. He's got a long way to go. He's got his free ticket to the Olympia. He don't need to do anything else. He can take his time with shoulders. He's not going to lose any of his shoulders, right? He can take some time off, take off a plate. Take off that plate and keep the 185 there. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at his rep right now. Let's go. Watch his rep. Right? I mean, it's good, strong rep, but you know what I mean? Like, boom. I'm not trying to do that rep with the shoulder that's going back from, I'm not trying to do that rep on the way to recovery. All right. Anyway, so guys, just to make sure we optimize this, guys, check out this video I did here to bring guys through this movement, because a lot of times people make mistakes on this movement. So I want to make sure you guys can take some tips from this. and optimize your Smith machine shoulder press. Okay, so we're doing Smith machine. Even Chris, by a little margin, and when he's doing his lift, is actually making a little bit of a mistake. Just an alignment issue. Again, I'm nitpicking, but for you guys, be very careful on how we set up. So most of the time when I see people set up here, they just put the bench underneath and they pull down. And now the weight's in front, and they're pushing almost on an angle when this is going up. Now you can see this is actually going straight down, right? So I need to adjust this bench where I can position myself that my elbows can be stacked underneath the weight. So I'm on a little bit of an incline, that's fine. As long as my elbows are stacked underneath, we're gonna hit the right part of our shoulders. That being the interior part of the delt and also that high part of the chest. So from here, my elbows are still a little further away. You can see how they're back a little bit, right? I can adjust one more time. And then from here, again, a little bit of external rotation to make sure the elbows will right underneath the bar. And from here, you can press right up more underneath the bar when you're pressing. Again, from floor to core, feet from the ground, placing the ground, putting your butt at the back of the bench, engaging your core, stack your joints, shoulder depression, push. 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 All right, guys. Hope you guys can take those tips and apply them to your next workout. Okay, so let's just watch a little bit of his set here, of one of his hard sets, and just kind of coach up on this again. Now, guys, in terms of like spotting your partner, make sure when you're spotting a partner to get more reps, follow the rhythm. So see Bum's going up and down like this. His rhythm's up, right? I want to continue that rhythm. It's boom and down, right? Boom. I'm gonna spot him so he can keep that rhythm going. So we're not sitting there doing like powerlifting, reps where you're like basically you need to grind that rep out to make sure you get that rep up, right? We just want a volume and blood in that area, right? So that's what we want to do when you're spotting a partner. Don't let him fail like this. Feel his rep out. Make sure he's doing the rep the same tempo. You'll know when his chest or his shoulders are gassed out because he won't be able to eccentrically hold the low. So lift him up and then kind of drop it, right? Let him have the same rhythm with his concentric motion, and then let it just go. Let it go up, let it go up, let it go. And once he can't hold that weight up and control it down, he's done. Rack it for him, he's off. Okay, so he's on to seated dumbbell ladder raises. This gym is quiet. Probably like turn the music on off. I gotta do a video here. That's basically what he said probably. Because they had music on in the beginning, now there's no music. Anyway, so what he's doing here is great. Most of the time I see these kind of benches and I hate them. It makes it so like when you put your feet up on the little foot rest part there, where it's supposed to give you more leverage, it pulls your knees a little higher and it kind of makes you kind of sit down, sink into your chair. I kind of like to be a little higher, having a little more of my hips being a little higher than my knees when I'm doing this. Nothing really much you can do about that with this, but again, when it comes to seated lateral raises, guys, I'm going to go over a video here, guys, to make sure you guys are doing this correctly. So follow this tip right here, and we're right back. When you're doing any kind of lateral movement at all, you want to make sure you be always stabilized from the hands, the wrists, right? So we don't want, over excessive wonky wrist doing this to try and pull up and put more emphasis on your shoulders. You can do the same thing by having a good neutral wrist that's engaged the entire time. So when we're doing this movement, we have a good line from the side, again, sitting down on the bench, pushing your feet. If you have somewhere where you can push your feet to pull back, that's fine. You can push yourself there, but again, from the ground, push your butt in the back of the seat, chest up, and from here, pulling from the side, pulling up and down. We don't have to go any higher than your shoulders. So from here, just up and down, up, down. And pulling. You see I have a neutral wrist, and you see where I'm pulling, even on my delt, so you see my definition, you can see where it's hitting my shoulder. I want to make sure that my entire arm is level with my shoulder. So I don't want my elbows to be too high. I don't want my hands to be too high over my elbows. Just want to pull right from the elbows straight through, but pulling and being linear the entire time. I hope you guys like those tips, guys. Make sure you guys apply those to your next shoulder workout. Let's continue. Just kind of rate these reps as we go. Now, I like how he's repping out. Again, he's like pulling, he's pushing out. When we're doing this, guys, we're trying to think about like pulling. You're pushing the weight away from your body while you're going out and up. If you think about just pulling up, you're going to use your chops too much to do this, right? So think about pushing away.
When I do lateral raises standing, it hurts my shoulder a lot more. But I found if I sit back, kind of relax my wrist a little bit more, so it's like slack here, and keep my arms bone straight, puts a lot more tension on my actual delts, like isolates it way more.
So I went over that tip in the video when it comes to excessive, you know, like wrist flexion extension, but it just being like blah, right? None of that stuff. But again, it's good too when he's talking about is basically when he's sitting in a bench, you have a lot more stability, right? You're sitting in a bench, you have that bench there to help you for leverage. Your feet are planted, you can push your butt in the back of the seat and be upright when you're doing this. So it makes a lot of sense. When you're standing up, there's a lot more opportunity for you to do a lot more swinging when the rep gets a lot harder. So very good tip here and I would do these the way he's doing them. He's doing them exceptionally well. Obviously, Mr. Olympia, he's gonna do good lateral raises. Fuck's sakes. Tarps off. Shit. So some of you guys are probably like, oh my God, Chris Bumstead lost a lot of weight. He was sick or whatever. It's probably better for him, to be honest. He probably dropped a bunch of weight, probably took a little time off. The body was able to rest. A little more harmony there. Now what happens? Boom. He'll blow right the heck back up. He's got, what is it, January? Come on, guys. He's got a lot of time. He's so dreamy.
There you go.
God damn. All right, we watch this rep from the back again. So these are good reps here. Like we're seeing a lot of reps here done without his traps taking over. Now your traps are going to have some degree of help with this movement. There's no way around it at all. It's going to help you with that movement, you know, but again, you don't want to excessively use your traps to help pull the weight up. Okay, so we're moving on to the next one here. Machine press. So good machine here. Now you guys are looking at the reps he's doing. Like he's quick with his stuff. Again, guys, once you get to listen, you guys can train this way all you want. Right? Once you get to the point where you are at in this guy's level, then you can. But for most of you guys who are there who are still learning, still trying to get themselves, you know, familiar with movements and the, you know, proper pathways and everything else. Once you're there, then you can kind of like, you know, do little things, little unorthodox, or just, you know, have fun, get a pump, whatever it is, right? Chris knows what he's doing. And I always have to make these, I always have to, you know, I always have to remind people, right? These are guys who've made it to where they're at because they have a really good mix of what you need to be where they're at. Great genetics, great work ethic, great dedication to their craft, right? When it comes to you guys here, you know, we're using these guys to give you guys some help in order to break them down as what they're doing, as well as to continue to, you know, help you guys understand how to do what they're doing or how to do it better or whatever. And just make sure you guys understand too, all of this I talk about in my ebook and in my coaching as well too, guys. So hit those links below. All right, back to what we're talking about. Okay, so going back to this again, when we're looking at, you know, pressing machines, I got a video here for you guys to understand how to use machines and how you can actually use the machines to your advantage. Because again, guys, just because the machine is made the way it is, it doesn't mean it has to be used the actual way it was made to be used. Check this out. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys one of the biggest pieces of advice when it comes to machines. Machines were not made for just one body type. Well, basically they actually were. They don't adjust to everyone's different sizes, their torso length, their femur, tibia, whatever. So they're just basically made from lowering the seat. So when it comes to machines like this, when it comes to stacking the joints, you're gonna have to maneuver yourself in a way that you can get yourself in a healthy position to still make that movement optimal. So yes, right here, if I push here, I'm gonna push out front this way. And if I do this, well, again, now I look really, really awkward. And my arm's way too far in front. So I can adjust myself back a little bit from here. Remember, I'm still pushing up. I'm still gonna hit my shoulder. So I can maneuver myself a bit. But when we do that, we have to make sure we engage our core that much more, right? Our core is gonna start replacing the back of this bench that much more in terms of the lower lumbar part. So from here, engaging your lats, pulling your shoulder blades down, pulling yourself back up a bit, and then we can press into the weight underneath. And we can press under the weight. And sometimes machines like this actually work better backwards. They actually sometimes put you in a better position when you're this way. So now I can actually press from here all the way up. basically getting better bang for your buck from machine by just maneuvering around it, making sure I can use the machine for more than what it is. And we're back, guys. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, when I'm talking about training, we're gonna go through these reps with Chris, because I want to talk a little more when we're doing reps and whatnot with machines. We want to use machines for the benefit of what it gives us, but again, it's our job to make sure we maneuver ourselves properly in there to make sure that we're hitting the right muscle. Again, not all machines are made equal for everyone, for all of us, right? So let's see what Chris has to say about this machine.
My second press of the day, like I said, sticking machines and guided stuff because it feels better. This is honestly one of my favorite shoulder press machines. Had it in Ottawa, moved here, and we have it here in Florida, so I'm grateful for that. But yeah, we're gonna move this since it's so easy to.
So again, like, you know, it's all about exercise selection, you know, finding the machines, the weights, the movements that you have the best mind muscle connection with, and you'll definitely see success when you're doing that. Don't just start doing movements because you saw someone do it and they said that it's the best movement to do, whatever it is. Everyone's body is different. Everyone's torso length is different than their femur, than their fibia. Those things make a big difference in terms of, you know, how you fit into a machine, how tall you are, how long your arms are. A lot of those things make a difference in, you know, in terms of what machines will feel like when you're using, or any exercise. So make sure when you're going to train that you're using the machines and do the movements that you can connect with the most and the best, and then from there work on some other movement patterns that you're a little unfamiliar with that could probably optimize your overall training with whatever exercise or, you know, muscle group it is. We got 4 places here. Now again, guys, I'm not recommending doing this if you are just coming back from a shoulder injury, right? So it's you know, here's what I'm gonna say too. Every movement, I'm gonna go back to this movement in a second here, but I want to actually go to everyone. Okay, we're gonna go back to him actually doing some skateboarding, but let's go to each movement. So let's go from here. From here, when I talked about, you know, each movement, we're gonna freeze frame him. Boom, right? Freeze frame. Now, if you look at his shoulders, he said he wanted to set his shoulders from the first exercise. Shoulders are set. He's straight across. Whether even his arm is bent on this side or the other side, if you look at his everything on there, he is completely straight. Like, everything is linear, right? Let's go to the next exercise. Let's go to the shoulder press. The joints are stacked, right? Even at his heaviest, his joints are stacked. Shoulders down, chest is up. Shoulders are set, right? Those joints are stacked. Let's go to another movement here. We keep going, right? Boom. You're right. Technique is great. Look at his shoulders, look at his arms. Everything's on one plane here, right? You don't see his elbows higher than his arms. You don't see his hands higher than his elbows. You don't see his traps overactive and going, you know, and being elevated with each rep, right? Then we go over to, you know, this last movement here. Freeze frame. Stack joints, right? Look where his elbows are. Look where his chest is. Look where he's moving. This is breathing, right? So when it comes to, in terms of, like, you know, is his tempo where it needs to be or whatever, blah, blah, blah. For him, yeah, it matters and it doesn't matter, because if you see what he's doing, he's already taken care of A, B, and C, right? He's at the gym. His technique is on point and his work ethic is great, right? Now, obviously, when he's going a heavier weight, you don't have to, you know, really sit there with a 3-second negative if you're doing more of that myofibrillar hypertrophy in these type of reps, these lower reps and higher weight. Your emphasis on the tempo doesn't need to be that great, but it does need to be controlled. But again, that's what we're getting from him, right? Chris Bumstead is a great guy to watch, train, right? And when you're just watching him, if you're looking at him for, like, you know, form reference or just, like, you know, overall work ethic, he's good to watch. All you have to do to change how all you have to do to copy him to suit how you're training is make sure if you're doing, you know, hypertrophy, sarcoplasm, whatever it is that you're doing, say, like, take all these movements here, do 10 to 15 reps, 2 to 3 second negative, rest 1 to 2 minutes in between each set, and, you know, hit your reps between, you know, 75 to 85% of your 1 rep max, and there you have a really good, you know, hypertrophy workout from copying Chris. I do recommend copying Chris in terms of his technique, you know, his work ethic, his, you know, how focused he is, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Anyway, guys, cutting off right there, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. You know, I'm coming with that tell like it is, transparent, vulnerable truth, guys. For coaching, johnnyshreve.com, guys. Make sure you guys hit that description below. Hit all those discount codes and promo codes to help change your life or save your life for the better, guys. Hit that, guys. Get my ebook. If you want to get on the good start right now when it comes to training, guys, grab my ebook right now. I can guarantee you now, follow that thing. You'll get results. in your training, book a phone consult, 15 or 30 minutes. At the end of the consult, ask me absolutely everything you want to ask me. Ask me about training, nutrition, supplementation, life, mental health, whatever it is. Ask me what you want to ask me. Ask me about coaching, guys. And at the end of that consult, I deduct a consult off any package that you pick, guys. Also, guys, make sure you guys add me on Instagram and TikTok, guys. Give me your progress pics, your foodie pics, your training clips. Now I'll repost it for you guys because you know how it is. Iron sharpens iron. Progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep gene chasing. Peace.